Jason had just moved to Chicago for a new job. He didn't know anyone there, didn't have much savings, so he started looking for a cheap place to stay. He found the listing on Craigslist. Private room, quiet neighborhood, $400 month, no questions. The price alone should have been a red flag, but Jason didn't have many options. He messaged the number, got a reply almost instantly. The man introduced himself as Frank, said he didn't like phone calls, preferred text only. That felt a little strange, but not enough to stop Jason. Frank gave him the address, told him to come by that evening. When Jason arrived, the house looked normal. Small, older, two-story, but something felt off. The windows were all covered, from the inside, not with curtains, but with something darker, thicker. Jason knocked. The door opened almost immediately. Frank stood there, mid-50s, thin, pale. He didn't smile. "Come in," he said. The inside of the house was dim, almost no lights on, just a faint yellow glow from somewhere in the back. Jason noticed right away, there were no personal items, no photos, no decorations, just furniture. Frank showed him the room upstairs. Small, clean, almost too clean. "No guests," Frank said. "No noise, no questions." Jason nodded. Then Frank added something else. "And don't go into the basement." Jason laughed a little, thought it was a joke. Frank didn't laugh. That night, Jason moved in. At first, everything was quiet. Too quiet. Frank stayed downstairs, never came up, never made noise. Jason barely even saw him. But around 2:30 a.m., Jason woke up to a sound, a dull, rhythmic thumping. From below, the basement. He sat up in bed, listened. Thump. Thump, like something hitting the floor. He tried to ignore it, went back to sleep. The next night, it happened again. Same time, same sound. This time, he got up, slowly walked out into the hallway. The house was dark, silent, except for that sound coming from downstairs. He moved toward the staircase. Each step creaked. The closer he got, the louder it became. Thump, thump. He reached the bottom. The basement door was slightly open, just a crack, and there was light inside, a dim, flickering light. Jason stood there, frozen. Then, the sound stopped. Complete silence. He should have gone back upstairs, but he didn't. He pushed the door open, slowly, and looked inside. The basement was empty, completely empty, just concrete walls, a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling, no furniture, no boxes, nothing. Jason frowned. Then he noticed something. The floor. It wasn't concrete. It was wood, like something had been built over it. And right in the center, there were scratches, deep ones, like something had been dragged or trying to get out. Jason felt a chill run through him. Then, he heard a voice behind him. "You weren't supposed to come down here." He turned. Frank was standing in the doorway, staring at him. Not angry, just disappointed. Jason moved out the next day. Didn't even pack everything. A week later, he saw the listing again. Same photos, same price, same line. Private room, no questions. Megan found the couch on Craigslist. She had just moved into a new apartment in Phoenix. Needed cheap furniture. The listing was simple. Free couch, pickup only. The photos looked normal. Gray fabric, no stains. The seller said he was moving out of state. Needed it gone fast. Megan drove to the address that afternoon. The house was in a quiet neighborhood. The man who answered the door looked nervous, kept glancing behind him. "Just take it," he said quickly. She asked if it was clean. He hesitated, then nodded. "Yeah, just don't open it." Megan frowned. "What?" "The bottom," he said. "Don't unzip it." She laughed it off, loaded the couch into her car. That night, she sat on it for the first time. It felt uneven, like something inside was shifting. She told herself it was just old springs, but later that night, she heard something, a faint tapping sound. From inside the couch, she froze, tapped back. Then 3 taps from inside. She didn't sleep that night. The next morning, she flipped the couch over. There was a zipper underneath, half torn. Her hands were shaking as she opened it. Inside wasn't stuffing. It was layers, fabric, plastic, more fabric, and something else. She pulled it out slowly. A phone, old, dead, and underneath it, something that made her drop everything. A human fingernail, still attached to skin. She called the police. They tore the couch apart. What they found inside was never released publicly, but the officer told her one thing before leaving. "You're lucky you heard it." Ethan was desperate for money. So when he saw a late-night job on Craigslist, he didn't think twice. Night security, easy work, cash paid daily, location outskirts of Dallas. He showed up at 11 p.m. The building was empty, old warehouse. A man met him at the entrance. Didn't give his name, just handed Ethan a flashlight. "Walk the perimeter," he said, "every hour." "That's it?" Ethan asked. The man nodded. "And if you see someone inside, don't go looking." That should have been enough to leave, but Ethan needed the money, so he stayed. Around 2 a.m., he saw movement inside the building, a shadow moving across the window. He told himself it was nothing, but then the front door creaked open, slowly. No one came out, just darkness inside. Then a voice from inside. "Help me." Ethan froze. Same words. Again, "Help me." He stepped closer, then remembered the warning. "Don't go looking." So he backed away. At 3 a.m., the man returned, paid him, told him not to come back. Ethan didn't argue, but the next day, he checked the listing again. It was gone. And when he searched the address, there was no record of that building ever existing.